So first up today we have Trump rejecting Iran's peace proposal, and Trump called it totally unacceptable. Following the news of Trump rejecting Iran's peace proposal, oil is now higher today by 5.42%. We see sharp selling in equities like Nikkei and Nifty. Nasdaq, although is still near its all-time highs, not really getting phased by this news at all. So let's dive deeper and see what this news means for the global financial markets and how different assets are reacting to this. Plus, we also have inflation data this week, and so we need to keep an eye on that. So let's dive into the video. Before we get into the video, I would just like to give a quick disclaimer that everything that I'm sharing here are just my thoughts and opinions, and this is not financial advice in any way. So first of all, let's talk about Nasdaq. Nasdaq is not really getting phased at all by this news today. Like I said, I am looking for pullbacks, but अभी तक मेरे को ऐसा कुछ मिला नहीं है Nasdaq के अंदर. What I'm looking for is a pullback to 0.382 fib level, probably like here, like this level looks good. Yeah, and then maybe a pullback to 0.5 fib level. So any of those demand areas look good. ये जो 0.5 fib level है actually previous high भी है of this range that we had been in. So let's see if we do retest that. Then earnings optimism has still been there, and I don't think कि जो AI rally या जो semiconductor rally है वो किसी भी तरह से हमारे पीछे है अभी. I think this market still wants to go higher for some time. Even though this looks stretched, it can stay stretched for long periods of time. But yeah, it is looking stretched, so that is why यहाँ पे मैं अपनी entry किसी भी तरह से justify नहीं कर सकता हूँ. I do need to see pullbacks to enter a trade. But my bias on the Nasdaq remains cautiously bullish, and I am waiting for pullbacks. Talking about the Nikkei, in the Nikkei, I want to see a pullback to at least 58,698. I'm actually a bit confused because ये previous high यहाँ पे है at around 60,000, but that isn't really coinciding with any of my fib levels which I normally use to enter a trade. So I'll have to really see here if when we pull back to this level I still do have a very strong bias, so I'll have to check that at the time. But I am initially looking for pullbacks to around 0.382 fib level or 0.5 fib level. तो इन दोनों में से कोई भी एक फिब लेवल के आसपास आई विल लुक टू एंटर ट्रेड. मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली अभी के लिए 0.382 फिब लेवल है मेरे दिमाग में, एंड या आई हैव टू स्ट्रक्चर अ ट्रेड अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट टाइम जब प्राइस यहाँ पर एक्चुअली पुल बैक करेगा. सो इफ आई डू टेक अ ट्रेड आई लेट यू गाइज नो. गोल्ड के अंदर मेरे पास एक फाइनली शिफ्ट है बिकॉज फाइनली मैक्रो वाइज थोड़ा सा गोल्ड चेंज हुआ है after the recent jobs data, the labor data that we had. Even though NFP was strong, there were some metrics that were missing the mark. Then this week institutions maybe have added exposure to gold, so that is also a tailwind. Then another thing is that seasonality looks good because in महीनों में usually gold drift करता है higher, so that is something that looks interesting. So अभी के लिए as you can see मेरा trade मैंने क्या किया यहाँ पे is that I marked this support level and ये 0.382 and 0.5 fib level के बीच में आ रहा था. So I've decided to enter a trade here. Like I have set up a position, although मैं अभी trade के अंदर नहीं हूँ, and my stop loss is just below this low over here, like not this low but below this 100-day moving average and this 0.618 fib level. So it's currently sitting around 4,590, and what I'm essentially looking for in gold is to retest this level of demand and maybe even go down to 0.5 fib level. That is also all right. So if it does do that and then continues to drift higher, that is what I'm looking for, and let's see if that happens. Why I have changed my bias in gold from neutral to bullish is, like I said, institutions have added to their long exposure, plus we have a strong seasonality for gold. Then macro data has been pretty neutral, but technical factors have been really strong for gold. Like we have put in higher highs and higher lows. So let's see if this trade works out. The dollar has caught a bid again because of the geopolitical uncertainty that is unfolding in front of us. जैसा कि हम देख सकते हैं डॉलर इस सपोर्ट से दोबारा बाउंस कर रहा है, एंड ये एक्चुअली एक गुड लेवल ऑफ सपोर्ट है फॉर द डॉलर, एंड बायर्स इधर बार बार स्टेप इन कर रहे हैं. सो लेट्स सी व्हाट हैपेंस इन द डॉलर. आई थिंक नियर टर्म रेजिस्टेंस इज अराउंड $99, like this mark, and then we have the resistance of this range at around $100, 100.6 to $100.4. So I think this is something that interesting that we need to look at, because यहाँ पे दोबारा से एक डबल बॉटम फॉर्म हो रहा है आई थिंक, एंड लेट्स सी हाउ दिस डज. सो आई थिंक ये जो आज डॉलर में बाइंग हो रही है, दिस इज बिकॉज लाइक आई सेड जियोपॉलिटिकल अनसर्टेनिटी, एंड देन ऑयल इज हायर टुडे, which means inflationary pressure is there, and उस वजह से like we've talked about in the past, अगर oil prices higher रहेंगे तो inflation बढ़ेगा तो Fed rate cuts नहीं कर पाएगा, and rates hold करेगा या फिर rate hikes करेगा, which is bullish for the dollar. So I think that is what is happening here today, and उस reason के वजह से आज डॉलर ऊपर है. As for the Aussie dollar के अंदर I am looking for pullbacks right now, and although मैंने ये index खोला हुआ है Aussie dollar currency का, but Forex pairs के अंदर भी I am looking for pullbacks, but I haven't really gotten them at all, because I think Australian dollar is just trading with that strong of a momentum. What I'm personally looking for is maybe a pullback to this level, 0.382 fib level or 0.5 fib level. दोनों में से ही कुछ भी वर्क्स. एंड उसके अलावा ऑजी स्विस के अंदर आई थिंक आई प्रॉब्ली लुक फॉर अ डीपर पुल बैक अराउंड 0.5 फिब लेवल, बिकॉज अभी के लिए आई कांट रियली जस्टिफाई एन एंट्री, बिकॉज मेरा इसमें रिस्क टू रिवॉर्ड रेशियो उतना अच्छा नहीं रहेगा. Then Aussie dollar. Okay, so Aussie dollar is a bit lower today. I think that is because dollar is catching a bid because of the geopolitical uncertainty. And I think इसलिए आज हम थोड़ा सा नीचे हैं Aussie dollar के अंदर, Australian dollar slash US dollar के अंदर. Then if we move on to yen pairs के अंदर actually मैंने थोड़ा zoom out करके देखा तो I think this still looks like a very good uptrend, so I don't really want to challenge that right now. I think what I would personally look for is a break below this level, this demand level, or the support level, and then a retest of that. So I think that makes more sense to me, rather than just entering in a range. So I probably want to see like a lower leg from here to previous demand levels, and then like a retest of this. So I think that makes more sense to me personally, and that is what I'm looking for in the yen pairs. Then talking about another Aussie pair right here. So Aussie pair ke andar, I think this is just bouncing from this support, and let's see how this plays out. I think iske andar I want to see like it, I want it to move up to this level, and फिर यहाँ से मैं कोई ट्रेड देख सकता हूँ, बट अभी के लिए आई थिंक it's just a bit too oversold, and either like it breaks below this support and then gives me a retest, so that would look interesting, or it goes up to this level and यहाँ पे फिर मैं कुछ ट्रेड लेने को देख सकता हूँ, बट अभी के लिए not really much to do for me. Then Aussie dollar slash New Zealand dollar, इसके अंदर एक्चुअली क्या चीज़ हो रही है कि ये मेरी एंट्री काफ़ी बार टेस्ट कर चुका है, बट द ओनली थिंग इज़ दैट ये उस टाइम करता है जब रोल ओवर पीरियड होता है, यानी गैप अप गैप डाउन में बहुत बार मेरी एंट्री टेस्ट कर चुका है. लाइक ये सारी चीज़ें उसी टाइम पीरियड के आसपास हुई हैं, स्पेशली ये वाली जो कैंडल हमने दिखी है, ये बड़ी वाली रेड वाली. But like I am still not in this trade, although I want to be in this trade. So let's see if this gives me another pullback to maybe this 200-day moving average in the 4 hour. Moving on to Bitcoin. Bitcoin के अंदर actually मेरी थोड़ी fundamental bias change हो गई है. So और like I said, मैं इसमें वैसे भी trade नहीं ले सकता हूँ अपने broker के अंदर. द ब्रोकर दैट आई एम ट्रेडिंग, मतलब MT5 के अंदर मैं जो स्विंग चैलेंज अकाउंट ट्रेड कर रहा हूँ उसके अंदर मैं इसमें ट्रेड्स नहीं ले सकता. सो आई एम जस्ट कीपिंग एन आई ऑन दिस फ्रॉम द पर्सपेक्टिव टू सी कि रिस्क ऑन फ्लो ज़्यादा आ रहा है मार्केट में या क्या सीन है. तो we do see Bitcoin making higher highs and higher lows, and this does look like a very constructive uptrend. बट अभी के लिए आई थिंक मेरी बायस थोड़ी न्यूट्रल शिफ्ट हो गई है, एंड प्लस मैं इसमें वैसे भी ट्रेड नहीं ले सकता हूँ. सो आई एम जस्ट कीपिंग एन आई ऑन बिटकॉइन फ्रॉम द साइड लाइन्स. आई एम इन दिस गोल्ड ट्रेड नाउ. एज यू कैन सी इसने मेरी जो एंट्री है वो टेस्ट कर दी है, एंड इट इज नाउ टेस्टिंग दिस सपोर्ट लेवल. सो लेट्स सी हाउ दिस वर्क्स आउट, एंड या आई जस्ट वांटेड टू अपडेट यू गाइस. So I think this is it for this video. I've pretty much covered everything that I wanted to. And if you guys have any questions or any asset that you want me to cover in particular, so do comment that down below, and I will take your asset of choice in the next video. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.